Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos. The paid request is time for Cindy. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. And this is for the Premature Burial from 1962, which I had never heard of this film, but it's actually one of the films directed by the late, great Roger Corman. Part of his Edgar Allan Poe series of movies, like the Pendulum and some other stuff he did with Vincent Price. Sadly, no Vincent Price here, but you do have Ray Milland, another older actor, and based on an Edgar Allan Poe short story. And I didn't mind this for what it was. It's a very short film. It's only an hour and 17 minutes, so it's a good running time. Doesn't overstay its welcome. I don't mind the story of the film. Ray Milland is this aristocrat named Guy who's in love with this lady called Emily. But ever since the death of his dad, he's always been this paranoid of one day being buried alive. Because he thought that he heard his father screaming for help when he was buried, but he wasn't really dead. And a lady who I think is his sister. I say I think because that's one aspect. I think they could have delved a bit more into that character, like Ray and her talking a bit more. But she's kind of more on the offside, and it's more about Ray Milland and his wife, or soon-to-be wife, and then ultimately his wife. So while this other is in the back, I wish a little bit more of her could have been built up uh, character-wise. But yeah, he has this fear, constant fear of being buried alive. And he keeps seeing these hints along the way. And there's this melody, this whistling that he remembers hearing at one point, and it kind of sets him off. And it's a cool. I'm not going to mimic because I'm not a great musician, whistler. But I like the whistling music, and I like how the score works in the whistling music. That, along with the very foggy background sets, foggy atmosphere, amps the atmosphere up that works with the story. And I thought Ray Milland did a good job playing a guy who you see, I felt sorry for. Him being so scared and him being so adamant that sooner or later he's going to be buried alive. And this thing called catalepsy, he puts it as he'll look dead, but he's alive. He said it happened to his dad, that he was sealed in a vault. I heard him cry, and someone goes, no, you only heard him cry in your mind. And once he gets buried, these things kind of build up, these little things where his wife plays a certain melody, and he kind of like, no, you gotta stop playing it. Just stop. Or this fear, this memory of these two grave diggers. But then he sees the two of them, and he's wondering what's going on. There's a dog that he finds, and it looks like it's dead. Kind of looks like a dog, kind of like Lassie, but then it's not dead. And then Ray Milland's horrified, going, "He was only stunned. I was going to bury him. I would have buried him alive." Later on, there's a cat that he keeps hearing in the walls, and someone finds this little kitten, as if it was buried in the wall. Like, all these little things happen. And it's making him more and more paranoid. He's trying to figure out what to do next. I did like this bit here. I guess again the spoilers, because listen, this type of film, just watch the trailer. You'll see if you want to watch the film or not. Make up your own mind. And this to me is just a review for Cindy, who requested this. So thank you. She said, oh, you shouldn't spoil it because you'll ruin the surprise. It's a film from 1962 that is only an hour and 17 minutes. There's not a whole lot to talk about without spoiling it. Just watch the trailer and then you'll see if you want to watch it or not. I do like his plan, his setup to make this dream, even if this nightmare becomes reality, he could overcome it. Where he rigs this vault that, if he dies, he'll be buried here. So he has it where if he's buried, like if he's on the coffin, he can hit something, he gets out of the coffin. Oh, there's a rig here he can pull down, open up the gate. Oh, there's a rig here, I pull it, the bells appear. The bells sound. You can do that whenever. Oh, here's another rig. There's a ladder to go up. Oh, I got food. I got stuff to drink. I got books to read. Oh, maybe worst comes to worst. I got dynamite. Like, he planned this out very well. And I kind of appreciate that. Because in a weird way, that's probably something I would do. As in, I would want things planned out as intricate as possible with that. And if the worst comes to the worst, poison. Granted, I thought that poison was going to be utilized later on, but obviously not for certain reasons. But again, I like the atmosphere that it develops with the foggy backdrop. At one point, Ray Milland hears that faint whistling and faints. He has this dream. Very almost, not quite psychedelic, but it's like this blue lighting and this very hazy dream quality. And throughout it, like every plan he had fails. It didn't really open. Each time he pulls something, it falls to the ground. The dynamite crumbles in his hand because some of it's too old or something. So I didn't mind the way that was portrayed. Just how even his plan, as intricate as it can, even that can't solve his paranoia. Because even then he could dream up, what if everything goes wrong? Now my fear's right back to where it was. So one thing leads to another, he wakes up, some other stuff happens, and the wife says, stop or I'm going to leave. Even though all this other weird stuff's going on. He loves his wife, so he decides to burn his plan to Steve Vault. And she's like, listen, I'm your wife. If something happens, then I will take you to this place. I won't let them bury you. You gotta trust me. I'd be like, no. Fuck that. I ain't trusting you. I ain't trusting nobody. Maybe put your trust in the Lord, but that's about it. Nope. Prenuptial. Need a prenuptial agreement. You ain't taking my balls in divorce. No, I ain't trusting you. Nope. But no, he does it. So he burns his vault down. And he's trying to deal with it. He's trying to be better for his wife. And that's where he hears like the cat. And they hear the cat within the wall. And they find it as if it's been buried in there. But, it's still alive, of course. Still perfectly fine. And he's freaked out more and more. He's like, you know what? Let's go down to the vault where your dad was. The tomb. And then the skeleton pops out and it freaks him out and he goes catatonic pretty much. Now you would think that if this guy had this catalyst thing, he would have told his buddy who was the doctor. I thought he did, but I guess not. But I thought he did where he said, hey, what happened to my dad could happen to me. This catalyst thing where it seems like I'm dead, but I would not really be. Again, I thought he had told his buddy who's a damn doctor. If not, tell your buddy who's a doctor, just who they don't get to check on you. Your buddy the doctor. Tell him. He would know for certain. Me damn Skippy. But instead, no, they think he's dead. So it kind of reminds me a bit of a precursor to like The Serpent and the Rainbow, which I love. Don't bury me, I'm not dead. Granted, that was with Haitian, voodoo type of stuff. What's that powder? Is it tetratot tetrodotoxin? Something from the fish, the puffer fish. That if you do too much, you die. But if you do it just enough, it makes you seem like you're dead, but you're not. So it's like you're a zombie, but you're not really. Something like that. I know I have vague memories of it, but I love Serpent and the Rainbow. It's one of my favorite Wes Craven films. Probably my top 3 favorite Wes Craven films. And interesting to see a precursor to that about a guy who's not dead, and as they're putting him in, like, you see his eyes are moving, and we hear him say, "No, please don't do it. I'm alive. Can you see my eyes?" Like, they don't see squat, or they don't care. So again, I don't know why why Ray Milland did not tell his buddy the doctor that he could be this way. Or if the doctor knew, why he didn't make double, triple, quadruple sure and like, hey, let's wait a day or 2 or 3 and let's see what happens. But I guess you want to have a movie. Now, the next thing we know we see is that the 2 people that Ray Milland saw earlier, and he was worried about these people who were grave diggers. They're grave robbers hired by his stepfather, which I'm guessing was Emily's father. That's what I mean by that. And it's cool that one of the 2 grave robbers is Dick Miller, who worked with Roger Corman a lot, from the original Little Shop of Horrors to a ton of movies throughout the years. Worked with Joe Dante a lot, being a neighbor in Gremlins, and then coming back to the city, or coming to the city to see Zach Galligan and company in Gremlins 2. And he was the helicopter pilot in Explorers. He's been in a lot of stuff. Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. The list goes on. He was one of the garbage men in The Burbs. It was great to see him in there. I do like the whistle motif, like the sound of it. It does have a nice creepy vibe to it. But I guess the stepfather like didn't know he had this catalyst things, that he may be alive. He just sent the 2 grave robbers there to dig up, to steal from the body, to take the body to somewhere. They probably did explain, but I didn't understand 100% their goal, other than they were told by Ray Milland's stepfather to do this. And then, lo and behold, Ray Milland's still alive and kills them both. You don't see a lot of gore, but you get the idea. He stabs one, and he messes up the other. He goes to his father-in-law, electrocutes him. I thought it was actually a decent touch, since back in the day you couldn't show a lot of gore, blood like you can nowadays. So instead, I like that you see it in silhouette, and you see the guy kind of twitch in silhouette. I thought that was a nice way of showcasing what'll happen to him. A little bit to your imagination. And then goes after his wife. Now again, his wife, you think she'd be more 100% sure that he was dead, because he did tell her, I do have this thing called a catalyst that makes it seem like I'm dead. You think she would remember that, so let me make damn sure that he is dead. And I guess you find out that the wife was part of this whole thing of, once she found out he was so scared of being buried alive, she, among others, kept picking at him and it left these certain things to freak him out more and more. They get him more scared. They get him more paranoid. And then in the basement with the skeleton, and think it's his dad, whatever, it freaks him out the most. So people assume he had a heart attack, but again, no, he just wasn't quite dead yet. So there's a few logic laps there. The ending kind of bugged me the most, I will say that. Because what happens is, understandably so for me, to me, this bitch tried to kill me? It's your ass grass, lady. I'm gonna put your ass in the grave. I'm gonna bury you alive. Let's see how you like it. You biatch. And the thing is, though, is that she gets put into the ground. Shoot to get up, try to leave, try to climb up. She doesn't. She's just like, ah. And the guy throws a bit of dirt here. Ah. God throws another dirt here. Ah. I'm like, do you have a vibrator stuck up your vajayjay? Is there a pine cone stuck up your sphincter? Or is it a piece of coal and you're trying to tighten up so with a twist you get a diamond? Why you get up? Why you get sit-ups? Do you not know how to do sit-ups? Do huh. Try that again. Huh. She can't do a sit-up. She can't do anything. Just like ah. So she gets buried alive because she apparently doesn't know how to do sit-ups. Try some Pilates. Then on top of that, the doctor comes in. He doesn't know what's going on, so he thinks Ray Milland's crazy. Wait, you're alive? And now you're killing people? You're crazy. And Ray Milland tells him, listen, it's none of your business. Leave me alone. I don't want to hurt you. This whole thing. Now, why don't you just tell the guy? Your friend is looking at you, your doctor buddy. Ray Milland, just tell him. Tell him she's put a plan. She set me up. Her dad set me up. They set me up. Blah, blah, blah. This is what happened. Say something. Try to explain it. Not just as vague. I don't want to hurt you. Then just say it. Just fucking say what's going on. Ray Milland. Instead they have a struggle. And then, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong. My memory's not the best. I think it's Ray Milland's sister, or the girl I was talking about earlier, that I wish they could have drawn a bit more development on. She shoots Ray Milland, kills him. The doctor tries to get the girl that's buried. She's dead. And you just tell it's a dummy. I get why, because it's hard to have a person with all that dirt on them and it's don't go in their nose. But like you could tell it's a bit of a dummy. But anyway, it is what it is. It's 1962. I'm sure with a fairly low budget. And then that other lady finally tells the doctor what's going on. And I'm sitting there going, well, I knew something was going on, and I knew not to trust that Emily lady. I'm glad she's dead. But I didn't say anything because I wanted proof. You wanted and I'm sorry I didn't get here in time. Where were you at? A McDonald's? You were at a Burger King? You were at a strip club? You were at a Hooters? A Howell's? A Heaties? And Tahiti's? Where the hell were you? And okay, you thought Emily was this two-timing hoe who was going to kill your brother or whatever. Kill Ray Milland. And I know I couldn't tell him because he wouldn't believe me. You know what you should do? Follow him and make sure he don't get buried alive. Maybe as soon as they leave, you dig him up. You do something. You dig him up. You do something. You don't just, well, yeah, he's dead. I didn't even think she was there. I think when Ray Milland mentioned about the callus thing and how it seemed like your dad, but you're alive. Why did the sister? Why didn't she? She knew someone was up. I guess she assumed Ray Milland was dead as well. I guess that's why she assumed Emily, the wife, had successfully killed her brother. But then why didn't you say something then? If you think she killed someone, why don't you yell something then? You didn't want to say anything because you didn't want to upset your brother. But if you think your brother's dead, say, that hoe, I'm going to punch her in the tits, I'm going to kick her in the vag, I'm going to kick her face until her face is nothing but space. Okay? Get me out of here, or I'm going to kill her, kill you, kill both of them, and then I'm going to kill you again for the fun of it. Like, do something that you think be angry, pissed off, mad, whatever. Body slam people, or get them in the five knuckle shuffle, the curly shuffle, or something, man. This character sucked because she did nothing. She was a thumb up her ass. She could have done something. She could have said something a lot more than she did, especially at the end. Either make sure her brother was dead, dudge him up in case he wasn't dead, or if you think he's dead, say something about the lady, say something about the father. Tell this guy what you thought happened. Anything. You didn't do nothing. And also, why did you have to kill Ray Milland? Why didn't you just shoot him in the leg? You wanted him to not kill the doctor? Fine. Shoot him in the leg. Kneecap him. Shoot him in the ankle. Shoot him in the hand. There's a lot more places to shoot than here to kill him. Shoot him in the leg. And I don't think Ray Milland, I don't think he deserved to die. I know it's part of the tragedy, but it's a shame. Because the people who killed deserved it. They all tried to murder him. He's only getting revenge. Now, Grant, I'm sure that's the way the story... I haven't read this story, so I don't know how the short story ends. If that's being faithful, if that is, okay, I can understand it. But on the flip side, I would prefer if Ray Milland got away with the killings, people didn't know... It was like, well, Tabby Ray Milland, he died. He leaves, he starts a new life somewhere else under a different identity. Granted, I guess they could dig up his grave and see that there's nobody in there, and then they would get their proof, but at least by then he'd be so far away that he maybe escape capture and, I don't know, go to America or somewhere else and start a new life. I would have preferred... You know what? I had to think about it. I didn't mind the film for what it was, but I just rather rewatch Buried Alive with Tim Matheson. Really enough, So was Buried Alive inspired by Edgar Allan Poe? Well, just to be fair, I don't remember him being obsessed with being buried alive. It's just that you have someone who's a loved one that screws him over, that results of him being buried alive, and he's able to get out, and he wants to get revenge on the people that put him there in the first place. I do remember liking that TV movie Buried Alive. That had a bit more of a satisfying ending, and I would say I like that more than this. But this, if you like older Roger Corman stuff, like I said, it's not much in terms of kills, action. It's not that at all. But I didn't mind the atmosphere. I thought the music was very effective, especially the whistling tune was effectively creepy. Ray Milland, I thought, did a good job with his paranoia and his fear. I felt sorry for him. The other acting was fine. The foggy backdrops definitely have that little bit of a gothic flavor to it. Again, the finale and some of the logic loopholes I'm trying to have to go through with the plot. I don't love the film, but I thought it was okay. And it was short enough that it wasn't too aggravating to watch either. So there's that. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.